Bushcraft 412, and it's time for a long overdue update on the Kel-Tec SU-16. I got this gun just about a year ago, and when I originally got it, I did a quick 3-minute show and tell video on it, and I kind of, forgot about it. I kind of said in the video that I was going to update it, and I was going through some old videos and thinking about refilming it. I noticed, holy cow, I never did an update on this gun, and all I have is the original quick 3-minute review, which was before I even fired it. So it's been a year. This gun's got some rounds in it, and it's time to do an update on this bad boy. We're going to start from the beginning, in the event that you haven't watched the original video, and just go over. Kel-Tec is an American company based out of Florida. American-made product with a lifetime warranty, which is one of the things I do like about Kel-Tec. This is the SU-16, which stands for Sport Utility. They market this as an all-around utility rifle, something that you can put in your truck, bring backpacking, kind of a utility rifle that's good for all kinds of different purposes. It is a folding stock, and there's several different variants. This is the CA model, which is legal in New York. Some of the other models are not legal. In New York, for it to be legal, if the stock folds, it can't be fireable, so you need to buy the CA model here in New York. So, with that said, this is a pretty much mostly polymer rifle, with the exception of the barrel and the bolt assembly, which is normal steel, and it fires 223, or it's actually chambered for the 5.56 Nato round, but it can also fire the 223. I've fired both through it and found them to be, the 5.56, of course, the military grade 5.56 is a little more accurate and seems to fire a little better than the 223, but you can run both in a 5.56, which is what this is actually chambered for. It has a folding stock, and the front forearm opens up to a bipod, and it's not very useful. It's very wobbly. I never use that feature. Eventually I'm going to upgrade the front end to that compact forend that Kel-Tec says, but that's later down the road. Competition wise, this is very on par with the Ruger Mini 14. They're a similar price range in that $500-600 price range. They're both chambered in 223, and they are on par, depending, it's a little bit, some people hold this gun in much higher esteem than others. But they're on par accuracy-wise with a run-of-the-mill AR-15. Typically, I get out of this gun with iron sights. I was getting, probably 5 to 6 inch groups at 100 yards. And now with the scope on, I can get anywhere from, on a good day, a 1 inch group up to, 2 and 3 inch groups at 100 yards with my current setup. It comes with a Peep Sight, which I took off. The Peep Sight's really only accurate up to 20 to 50 yards. It's meant for close quarters combat. And there is an upgraded buckhorn sight you can buy from Kel-Tec, and it's $30 or so. But I never bothered. I wanted a scope on it. I use this gun principally as a range gun. I, didn't want to spend, $1,000 on an AR-15. And as a matter of fact, AR-15s are illegal in New York. You have to buy a Rock River Arms or a DPMS or Bushmaster. You can't actually buy the Colt AR-15, and I really didn't want to buy it because I figured after I spend the $1,000 on the AR-15, then in optics and all that, you're looking at $1,500. This is a $500 gun with a couple $100 worth of upgrades. I wanted to err on the side of cheap. There are a lot of concerns with this gun. If you look, it's been manufactured for about a decade now. They started producing it in the early 2000s. And there's a lot of interesting complaints on the forums. If you go on the Kel-Tec forums and various other forums, a lot of people complain about this gun. And I guess there was a lot of bugs when it was new. And it's kind of funny because if you watch other people's video reviews of this gun, they regurgitate those complaints and say, oh, well, it's got this problem, that problem, and in reality, most of those problems have been fixed by now. This is actually a very reliable gun. It uses a gas piston system, very similar to an AK-47. And that, the bullet's fired, gas goes out the barrel and goes up and pushes a gas piston back, which ejects the round and loads a new one. You know, look it up if you want to see how an AK-47 works. This is very similar. So this is kind of like, you know, if an AR-15 and an AK-47 had a baby, it would be this gun. Unfortunately, it's not as tough and rugged as an AK-47, but it's not as accurate as an AR-15. So it's kind of a middle ground kind of gun. Very similar. The closest gun to this is the Ruger Mini 14. They're both similar in accuracy, price, and utility. So this gun kind of fit my needs. Plus, you know, being it is a foldable stock, I find that very useful because I can bring it backpacking whenever I'm setting up any kind of a camp in the woods. It's something I can bring with me and, you know, do some varmint shooting or something like that while I'm out in the woods. So I do really like this rifle, and I bring it to the range a lot. I've probably got probably about 1,500 rounds in it now. My only complaint is that the gun is very picky about ammo. Sometimes when I'm shooting the cheap Wolf ammo, the primers won't go off. Now, I don't know if it's the ammo or the firing pin or whatever, but I solved the problem. I just don't buy Wolf ammo anymore. There's a couple other brands I can get, like, for example, the Herder's ammunition from Cabela's that is just about the same price and fires flawlessly. Of course, a lot of people don't like Wolf ammo because it's a steel cased and lacquer coated, and it has the capability of causing all kinds of problems with your gun. I use it for my AK-47 all the time, and I never have problems with it, but I can't use it with this gun. This gun's just a little picky on ammo, but if you put good ammo through this gun, flawless performance. I've had one failure to eject, and of course it was using those lacquer coated steel cased Wolves, and you know, of course they're steel, so they expand and, you know, get caught in the chamber and don't eject. So I've had one failure and about 1,500 rounds, so very, you know, very reliable. Cleaning is pretty much identical to the AK-47, except there's no dust cover. I use a bore snake. I take it up, you know, I fold it, take it apart, and then run a bore snake from the chamber end. I don't like cleaning guns from the breech, so I bought a bore snake and I do it like that. Very easy to clean, and even if I've let this thing go 500-600 rounds and not clean it, doesn't affect performance at all. So this is a gun you can throw in your truck and, you know, really abuse it, and just like an AK-47, it's just going to keep going forever. So with that said, a lot of information in a hurry. Let's go into my upgrades in particular I did with this gun. And we're going to take this camera off the mount here and go on a trip. Bear with me here, guys. First upgrade is the folding pin for the stock. I replaced with a takedown pin from takedownpins.com. It's basically the pin, same pin, with a hole drilled and a keyring on it. The keyring's losing its finish, but no big deal there. They're like $18.99, and like I said, you get them from takedownpins.com. Scope, I put a truglo tactical. It's a 4x32 scope. Now, I'm going to get some flack on this, I know right now, because, you know, a lot of people just don't like truglo, but, you know, this gun is not amazingly accurate, and I don't need a $500 scope on it, and I really don't like red dots, so this was one of the only scopes I could find that was a 4X that would give enough clearance, because when you fold this gun, the gas piston and bolt carrier come out, and when they come out they angle down kind of like that, and it pops out the end. So you have to have a scope with enough clearance to do that. So I bought this scope because the clearance is perfect. I've got about 2 millimeters between the edge of that scope and where the gas piston slides in, so you have to go with a shorter compact scope, and this is one. It's a 4x32. It's got very small crosshairs, mil dot. Really like it. You know, it's not the best scope on the market. You know, of course the turrets are kind of cheap and are not 100% accurate, but at the same time, you know, it works for my purposes. And I know, guys, you're not gonna like it because there's a lot of scope snobs out there. But what can I say? You know, of course, I have invested in a lot of pre-band mags in New York. We are a communist state, of course, so all the mags I buy have to be pre-ban. So it costs me literally a fortune to get these things. But the good thing is in New York, one of the good cheats is you can buy the pre-ban mags and you can put new springs in them. So all these mags, even though they look pretty busted up, have new springs in them. And some of them have new followers. So that's actually perfectly legal in New York, which is really cool. And my last upgrade is actually a Bushmaster. I can't remember the exact model, but it's a Bushmaster Compensator. This gun doesn't need a compensator, you know, because it's 223. There's not a ton of recoil on this bad boy. I really just kind of like the look it gave to the rifle, and it does help a little bit with muzzle climb. So when you're shooting, it is kind of a nice upgrade to, you know, it looks nice. Plus, you know, it helps if you're firing off kind of rapid fire. Not much. It's 223. There's not much to a 223 round, so it's not like it's really a necessity. So with all that said, that is my update and full review on this gun. Now, like I said before, this is kind of a controversial gun. A lot of people do not like it because it's a polymer gun. They are leery about quality and how long it will last. I've read reports of these things lasting 10,000 plus rounds and still firing like new. This one's only got 1,500, so I can't say from personal experience how long they're going to last. But, you know, I'm at 1,500, still going strong. No degradation in quality of my groups. It still shoots like it's new. No problems with it. Really enjoy the gun. This is actually one of my favorite plinkers. And one of the other things, too, is the weight of this thing. Even with, as you can see, I forgot to mention earlier, is that there you can hide two 10-round magazines in the stock there, or you can put one like 30 or 120 in there. Even with a stock or one full magazine in the gun, two 10-rounders in there, this gun is still lighter than an AR-15. The wife likes this gun a lot because it's very lightweight, easy to maneuver, easy for her to fire. She really enjoys it, and she actually shoots it more than I do. So it's kind of a nice little compromise in that she likes this a lot better than the Saiga 7.62. So, you know, I'm not afraid of the polymer guns. They don't bother me. You know, my biggest complaint about the gun is that the receiver is one piece, so you have to clean it with a bore snake if you want to clean it from the chamber end. But what are you going to do? It's kind of the pitfall of the rifle. You know, it's got the integrated Picatinny. The Picatinny is also polymer. So I know some people have complaints that it's not 100% to spec, but mine is actually very good, and the scope ratcheted down very good to it. There are a couple different options for accessories. There is now an AR-15 stock with a pistol grip you can buy for this. It's about 120 bucks. I'm not going to do it. I find the stock to be more than adequate for my needs. Like I said, I may upgrade the fore-end because I do want to put a bipod. Yeah, like a bipod on the fore-end, and I don't want to do like a clamp on. So overall, my upgrades, I got like one more to go and that's it. Love this gun. One of my favorite shooters. Very reliable. Like I said, gas piston system similar to the AK. Basically, this is like a perfect cross between an AR-15 and an AK-47. Very cool little gun. Very fun to fire, and it's 223 or 5.56, and a whole lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed the. Well, actually, you know what I'll do? Before we go real quick, I will try to show you the crosshairs on this bad boy. Let's see if I can do this. It's so challenging to do, guys. There we go. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So as you can see, it's a very thin crosshair, mill dot. Oh, we're losing it. There you go. But really dig the scope. Very clear. Very nice for 4x32. But like I said, I didn't buy this to be, you know, a very high-end scope. I bought it because it's a plinker. So it's good enough for me. I know, don't complain, guys. I wish I could afford a better scope for this, but it's all I can afford. So hope you guys enjoyed the update. This is Bushcraft 412.